Live from New York, it's the show that did not return their sweater.
Well, I didn't do it. Wow. Controversy about the first things
return,
first world.
exchange, two completely different
I mean, I'm not killing Brew, but he did keep the $13 rebate.
Did he really?
That went to him.
Yeah, she gave me a little gift.
That went to
$13.
him.
Bucks.
Yeah,
13
I don't know what I get at Nordstrom. but $13.
Reporting that several NBA executives texted him his own meme. Now, why
What is
would
going on?
LeBron do that? That was supposed to be a cut of me.
Yeah, there it is.
Why did we cut to Nick just sitting there? Now, Brew, why did LeBron do that?
First of all, love the hat.
I was thinking the same
Now,
thing.
don't get us any, but it looks great on her. It looks great on her. Yeah.
I love it, Nick.
Look, this is nothing. People don't believe. I talked to Rich Paul a few hours ago, all right? They all are obviously from Northeast Ohio. Rich, Savannah, LeBron. They're there for Mother's Day. Okay. They wanted to go to the game. There are several players in the game that were at LeBron's camps as they're coming up as younger players. Darius Garland is represented by Clutch. So they were just there enjoying the game. In fact, this is the proof. This is the proof that it's nothing.
Proof?
And Windhorst did say it too, but I got it from Rich. Rich called the Lakers
to let them know,
to tell them we will be at the Cavs game. Don't be alarmed, because if they didn't tell them, then everybody's like, oh my gosh. Everybody's like that anyway. I think that it's honestly, I feel like it was innocent.
Oh.
Everybody thinks LeBron. I talked to Rich about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
LeBron certainly would love to play with Bronny, but it's not like they're tied to each other.
Of course.
So don't look for LeBron to go sign a minimum deal somewhere to play with Bronny.
Sure.
All right? I thought, I asked Rich about it, because I thought, well, maybe with the Cavs could draft him, but they only have a first-round pick. That's unlikely.
You can probably acquire a second if you wanted to.
And they draft him, but I think that's unlikely. But no, I think this is just LeBron. I honestly think it's innocent. He's enjoying a game in his hometown.
Okay.
I can't believe that take.
That is not my take. And now I will say my take is not informed by talking to Rich. And I say this, if Rich is watching, I hope he takes this in the nature that I mean it. There are certain things I don't want to talk to Rich about before I go on the air, because I know, like, Rich is a great agent and a great advocate, and I almost feel like I'm better giving my opinion on this topic. You know what I mean? I'm glad one of us did, one of us didn't. Because do I think LeBron James is going to sign with the Cavs this offseason? I don't. Do I think it is on the board of possibilities? I do. Do I think LeBron is going to use his potential free agency, as is his right, to exert whatever leverage he can on the Lakers, prioritizing the next couple years over the next 6 or 7 years, which, by the way, you can make an argument for, if you're running the Lakers, for either one, that, right now, should we go for it because we potentially have an aging LeBron? You don't know about AD's long-term health, or should we think more long-term?
I think they should go for it.
I do too, but I think my point is the Lakers, they wouldn't necessarily be a dereliction of duty if they said, we don't want to trade any more picks. We want to, be less aggressive than we've been in the past. It would, though, be bad for the oldest player in the league, who is LeBron James. And
quickly on that too, the other thing, Nick, they tried that rebuild and had good draft picks, and it didn't work.
And it did not work until they got
you know what I mean? So even if you don't get a championship and you go for it, you're fine.
I agree with that, but I think that LeBron is nonplussed watching the playoffs and saying, oh, the Knicks, they added OG Anunoby at the deadline, and it changed their team. The Mavs, who I understand, we'll talk about them in a moment. I understand they blew the game last night, but they added 2 guys for very, very little. P.J. Washington, who's been awesome, and Daniel Gafford, who's changed their defense. Could the 47-win Lakers have been the 50-win Lakers if they had made a couple moves and they were on the same path the Mavs are on right now? Maybe. So I think that part is likely frustrating to LeBron, and knows, okay, it is in my interest for the Lakers to at least be a little nervous about me leaving.
Yeah,
because the
But
Clippers.
why call him don't call him intelligent.
Oh, because I think that's professional courtesy.
Make him even more nervous.
But,
Yeah,
look, it's not insulting. It's not rude. It's not wrong for LeBron just to go to a game.
Right, but the problem is the history of it. But remember, we all know the last time.
It's not like the Lakers could be like, how in the world could he do that?
I get that. I get it, but Wildes, we all know the last time LeBron showed up at a Cavs game when he wasn't a member of the team was the Big Z jersey retirement, his final year in Miami, and then he did end up signing with the Cavs.
And the Lakers, too, he did. He went, was it a summer league game? He went to the Lakers when he was still with the Cavs?
Right.
Kyrie went to Staples or Crypto, which is kind of like, well,
yes.
I just love
by
basketball.
the way, before you go, Wildes, I encourage LeBron James, by the way, buddy, don't have this be your last game.
That's what I was going to say.
Stop by Dallas. See how Kyrie's doing.
Go over to
Stop by
Garden.
the Mecca. See how they're doing.
Oh, that's just Rich and Leon Rose just patching things up. Just
it'll
to
be
check in.
exactly right.
I was in New York for
Yes.
a Nike commercial. I swang by the Garden.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Reggie if he was on the call, see what he had to say.
He loves basketball. Can you just go watch the game? I mean, LeBron can't just have a fun life and I got all this money. Let me go see these games.
I don't look at this as a bad thing.
it's great.
I think that here's in the defense of if it is a bit of a leverage push. I think the Lakers have taken LeBron re-signing for granted. The Clippers were more worried about losing Kawhi, than it seems like the Lakers have been about losing LeBron. Any guy, no matter what you think LeBron James is, everyone in the world agrees he's still one of the 20 best players alive. Sure. Anytime one of those guys can leave your franchise and you get nothing in return, it's usually a 5-alarm fire. The Lakers have not operated like that because I think they have taken for granted his family's here, his wife likes it, his businesses are here, his kid's going to be a senior in high school, the younger kid, Bryce, so he's going to stay. And I think he might feel a little taken for granted. And so occasionally reminding, people how sought after, how excited people are to see you, get a standing ovation from that Cleveland crowd.
You can have a more delicious take when you don't talk to the people.
Okay,
I mean, really. Like, if I hadn't talked to Rich, maybe I'd have a sexy take like that. Oh, LeBron. Third time is a charm in Cleveland.
I like this.
But
They
can I ask
would
a
be really
question
good.
about that?
In the East?
Now he's back.
No, I'm just saying.
Yes.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm just saying. If LeBron was like, man, I'm getting me another ring.
Yes.
Philly is obviously here, but Cleveland and the East is much weaker than the West.
Much weaker, and there is a storybook aspect to it. You wouldn't look like a mercenary because it's your hometown. There's a lot of things, and I will say this again. I know Rich. I vaguely work with Rich. I have massive respect for him. I also think that and I do not think this is the case at all, if LeBron was definitely signing with the Cavs, he had decided it. I think he's saying the exact same things he's saying right now.
That's true.
So I think you got to kind of read.
It'd be nice.
It would be great for the NBA.
I'd even like it if they got Bronny. Even if LeBron didn't go there, just Bronny.
Oh, that would be cool too. I like that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's head to Dallas. Okay, so here's Luka and Kyrie last night. Eek. Not great, Brew.
Unbelievable.
First time combining for under 30 points. Nick, is this loss more on Luka or Kyrie?
It's more on Luka. And it's not just because if people didn't stay up late to watch. He got fouled with 10 seconds left down 2 and missed the first free throw.
Could have tied it.
It could have tied it. Now maybe OKC wins or their best, but still but it wasn't just that. The whole team missed free throws, but Luka needs to be better, and I have a few hypotheses as to why he hasn't been better. I do want to say this on the front end though. That is an excruciating loss. Luka and Kyrie were not playing well, and they led the whole way until the final minutes. Despite it, they had control, and in my opinion, they could have won the series last night. You go up 3-1 on a team that young. When you beat them, when your two guys don't play well, it's so devastating to be the third straight win. They could have essentially locked in their second trip to the conference finals the last 3 years. And now instead, a new dogfight, best of 3 where you don't have home court. You guys know I kind of like Luka's verbal abuse of the officials.
Yeah.
I know not everyone does. I think when he's rolling and he is screaming at the refs, it gets him going more.
I buy that.
There is, and I'm going to draw an odd line here. This series, it hasn't felt like screaming. It has felt like meek whining. And I think it is hurting him.
A lot of people feel like
that all the time.
Right. It's always felt like
Okay,
that.
like I said, I'm going to draw a line that I know some people won't. But it is less snarling like bleep you and more like, what?
Like
why are you picking on me? And I think it is become so. He's obviously not 100%. It's not an excuse. I think that's frustrating him. He can't make a shot. That's frustrating him. He's convincing himself the refs are against him on every play, which they're not. I know he wants the whistle SGA gets, but he's the best player. He's the leader. He's the MVP candidate. I love Luka. They're my pick to win the championship. He needs to be better for them to have any chance. So I put it on him.
No, it's on Luka because, as you said, he's the best player. And anytime your best player doesn't play well in the playoff game, it's on him. Kyrie didn't play well at all. I'm going to get to Kyrie. But Luka is the guy. He's the MVP candidate. He's the face of the franchise. He's the guy we compare to Larry Bird.
Yep.
He's the guy we expect to start winning. He's the guy who, Nick, you've shown many graphics where his playoff numbers were up there with Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah, they're Jordan
They're
in the
not
playoffs.
going to be. They're
What a
not
time
going
to
to
be
be
alive.
now.
Yeah.
And this is, obviously the more games you play, your numbers can come down. But I do think the knee is bothering him to some degree,
time.
but we can't use that as an excuse.
Agreed.
You're playing 42 minutes a night.
Yep.
You're playing 42 minutes. I get it, Embiid, Brunson, all that, but he's out there playing. You have to play through this. And credit to Lou Dort, who's doing a great job,
Well,
and the other defenders. They're a great defensive team. But I got to look at Kyrie, too. Kyrie this is odd because he has 2 9-point games
But the
in
first
this
one,
series.
didn't you think he played well?
Yeah,
I thought it was a
he played
floor
good
game.
defense.
Yeah.
He played, but I need points from Kyrie.
Yeah.
All right, and I know. Look, P.J. Washington has stepped up, and he's shooting the ball well, and they're kind of like we'll live with him getting 25 or whatever it is. But the odd thing about Kyrie is the field goal attempts. He, like you said, he's shooting 46%. You can live with that. All right. But he's averaging 15 points a game. He was 2 for 8 last night. So he's only taking 12 shots a game in this series. In the regular season, he averaged 19, almost 20 shots a game. In the last playoff series against the Clippers, 18 to 19 shots a game. So I'm not sure even that Brooklyn series, his last series in Brooklyn, he was taking some games 13 shots, 15 shots. So Kyrie needs to, I don't know what's going on. Fourth quarter, he tried. He took 5 shots, only made 1. But they're going to need Kyrie to be more aggressive if Luka's not going to be able to play his typical game.
So here's the Luka stats that you mentioned that were Jordan-esque in the other playoff series other than this one. Points are down 10, field goal percentage down 7, three-point percentage way down. And somewhere between a lame excuse and 100% of the reason is Luka's knee injury. And I'm starting to lean more towards, man, the guy can't move. He's trying to get up here. He's trying to stagger back to Chet. He's like, throw it to Chet. I can't even get over there.
I don't think he has that Jamal Murray gene where it's like, I'm not going to even show you. I think it's a little more Embiid gene. I'm going to let you know. I'm not saying he's not. He is legitimately hurt.
But he can't close this out. I mean, he wants to. He's like,
Does he? Or does he want you to see,
No.
Man, I'm out here laboring.
I do agree with you that he is a guy that if he is not feeling right, he's going to make sure the audience knows it. He also has gotten the crap kicked out of him this series. Not just Lou Dort's defense. He smacked his face on the floor. He got knocked down 3 times yesterday when the broadcast was almost not making a joke of it, but being like this. He's on the ground again. I do think where it is showing up more than anything is his three-point shot. I think he doesn't have the lift because of his knee, and those shots are coming up short. But I know he's not the best player in the league. But heavy is the head, man, that wears the crown.
He's right up there.
That's right. And that the thing is, this is where I think I'm fair to Jokic, I'm fair to Luka, I'm fair to LeBron, whether he's 39 or now. The expectation, the standard is the standard.
Yeah, I guess
and you got to be great. And so, and when you're not, we don't, except for Jordan's flu game, we don't really go back and give extra credit for a great performance.
We really only do it with Jordan.
Of course, yeah, of course. With Jordan's, we only do it for one guy, and it's because he was hungover. But regardless,
poison pizza.
Okay, sorry, but you know what I mean. Like, we don't retroactively say, oh, LeBron had a sprained ankle that series. Right. Oh, Kobe's finger was messed up.
42 minutes.
No, it's just you're supposed to. In this league, you're supposed to get it done.
Yeah.
And by the way, in the other league too, Mahomes a year ago won a Super Bowl on one ankle, and nobody was going to cut him slack if he didn't. Like. It's just, I love Luka. He's got to find a way.
It's his first dose of controversy or adversity.
Adversity, yeah.
And he's got to face it.
Okay. Finally, SGA. Josh special here. 39 and 7 assists in a best of 7. SGA, Joker twice, Luka twice, Giannis, LeBron, Russ,
How many
Jordan.
times for LeBron? Does that say 8? That's
He
wild.
had a long career.
That's wild. A lot of those guys played a long time.
Surprised SGA has been the best player in the series.
I am surprised, but man, this is how you convert skeptics. And I wasn't a full-blown skeptic, but a slight skeptic. I understood he had a great season. I never really even considered him as MVP candidate. I thought he was that next year. And I thought he was, an ascending superstar, a guy who just became a superstar. Games like this, Brew, this is a season saver. In my opinion, we've had 3 season savers these playoffs. Maxey, Game 5. Now, they ended up losing the next one anyway. But the half-court shot and then the performance.
Right.
Joker, Game 4.
Yeah.
I think that was a season saver. And last night, I think it was a season saver by SGA. And the way he scored, I'm sure you loved. I assume you're going to talk about the shot selection, the mid-range, and all of that. And I'll leave that for you.
Effective.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he has. I am surprised. All right. You thought I was going to say no.
No,
but I am surprised because as great as SGA is, I had him 3rd on my MVP ballot. He's going to be first team All-NBA. I had him first team All-NBA. But I don't consider him better than Luka.
Me
all
neither.
right. And in this series, Luka has the luxury of having a second superstar who not only is going to be a great player that's going to help you, but also is going to draw the attention of the defense. All right. And obviously, SGA, even if you just say Kyrie's a star, I mean, he has that second star that you have to worry about. SGA does not have that. And yet he's still getting it done when against a very good. They are now a very good defensive team, the
That's
Mavericks,
right.
since they made these trades. And he's still getting it done. Like you said, he's not much of a three-point shooter. He's only taken 11 threes in the series. You know he's either going to the rim or the mid-range, and they still can't stop him. And so he's been terrific. And here, I'm going to give him credit for this, too, the rebounding.
Yeah.
He's averaging 9.8. He's leading the Thunder in rebounding in this series.
That's the
right.
one
They're the 3rd worst rebounding team in the league. All right. Dallas isn't an awesome rebounding team, but they're better than the Thunder. So they need him to step up in this category, and he's doing it. He only averaged 6 in the regular season. So for him to go out there and get, or maybe I think it was 5 in the regular season, him to go out there and get 10 rebounds a game, lead his team is huge.
Okay. Should Kansas City hit the panic button? We're going to talk about.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.